Michaela Light here. I'm with Pete Freitag from Foundeo. Here's the amazing stuff Foundeo does, all these cool things. And we're here at Into the Box. Yep. And this is your, how many years have you been coming to Into the Box, Pete?
I think I was at the first one.
The first one? That was
like 2014 or something like that.
Wow.
In Minneapolis. And so I think, I don't know if I've been to all of them, but pretty close to it. So.
Wow. You should get a medal. Instead, you got a floppy disk.
Yeah.
There we go. It's very retro, indicating that we need to modernize our ColdFusion. But how's Into the Box been for you this year so far?
It's been good. I did a full-day training session yesterday, doing my full-day security workshop for writing secure CFML code. And so that went well. And then today, yeah, I've already got my session done. I did a session on serverless CFML with AWS Lambda. And we also have been talking about Fixinator quite a bit here, with some partnerships with Ortus in their ForgeBox Enterprise and Pro.
What is Fixinator for those listeners who may not have heard what it is?
So Fixinator is a CFML code scanner that looks for security issues in your code. So it can look for just kind of generic security issues like here's a SQL injection, but it also is looking for things like known vulnerable pieces of code. So for example, if you've got like an FCK editor file upload plugin that has known to be vulnerable for many years, and you still have that in your server, it can detect that stuff in your code base as well.
And you can either run a one-time report, you can run it interactively and fix or reject.
Yeah, so it has
suggestions,
a feature called AutoFix where it will give you suggestions on, like for example, with taking the SQL injection example. If you've got a CF query with a variable in there that needs to be protected, it'll suggest, do you want to use CF query param with CF SQL type integer, CF SQL type varchar, and you can kind of just go through and fix them really quick. With that approach. And then it also works quite well, as you mentioned, integrating it into something like a continuous deployment or a continuous integration environment. So every time you commit your code to your version control, it can fire off a process where it's going to scan the code automatically, and then you could even have it fail the build process at that point. Cause like a red flag type thing to go up if it doesn't pass the scan. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do now that really wasn't possible prior to having this tool.
That's going to mean a lot more secure ColdFusion applications out there.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, and you built this all in a serverless deployment on Amazon Web Services?
Yeah, so it runs the actual scanning part on AWS Lambda, which is using the fuseless framework that I talked about today as well in my session. But yeah, and then so that's for there's two options for deployment. There's the cloud-based option, and then there's an enterprise edition where you can actually run it on your own hardware, locally on your own laptop.
Wow. Well, this is ColdFusion ahead of the curve of most other languages. I haven't heard of many other tools where they're running it as a Lambda function, serverless on AWS. So thanks so much, Pete.
Oh, thank you.